We are different. There are husbands, I just want to say, who don't embrace this with the great big heart and the big enthusiasm. It's kind of an interruption in the romance.
Sure.
And I think we need to have that in mind. I had a wonderful husband. He did everything better than me. And if he could have nursed the baby, he would have done that. He would get up in the night and get that child and bring the baby to me so the baby would know Dad was there.
Oh, that's
I brought a picture of me doing one of the few things there's pictures of me doing, because Richard did so many things. That's Catherine getting one of her early baths.
Catherine's going,
she looks very content.
She's having a good time.
And Catherine is how old now?
16.
16.
Oh, 16.
Wow.
Oh, I have to, can I just show you a reward for the survival? My son is, what is my son, Ann? He's 15. But this he did when he was 8. I just love this. This is, when you get through the no sleep, the living sacrifice bit. Dear parents, you are the best parents I ever had. Thank you for giving me cloths. Thank you for letting me go to school. I couldn't live without you. You are special because you are not mean to me and you don't yell at me. You are not boring parents. You are fun and cheerful. That's why you are special. Love, Davy.
Oh. So, okay, you got an extra allowance that week.
Yeah. Did you take him for an ice cream cone after that?
It's worth it.
It is.
And it truly is a living sacrifice. As Anne said, you know, it hits you like a Mack truck that this little person is 24/7, and I had a little alert. She didn't sleep. She didn't nap all afternoon. I had a scrapbook pile. I had photographs on the dining room table, Huntley mail, all the things I was going to accomplish now that I was at home on maternity leave with a baby who was supposed to sleep. She didn't sleep. No. I couldn't unload the dishwasher in one. I was a jumping Jupiter, I think, not a nonchalant Neptune.
Yes.
Now, Moira, you mentioned the romance leaves. I have to just make mention of Trish's husband, because one of my favorite parts of this book that I was saying in the makeup,
really
and now my husband's going to be rolling his eyes. Trish, your husband, who you call your Prince Charming,
Yes.
although he didn't rescue you from the hospital on a white horse, he rented a white stretch limo to take you home from the hospital.
And every man right now, though,
The bar is set really high.
So there was still some romance in there.
He really surprised me with that one, because he's not a spender of money. He's kind of a saver of money. So for him to spend money on something extravagant like that was really a shock.
Awesome.
Yeah. You were talking about jumping Jupiter. I talk a little bit in the book about some moms. I call them two different kinds of alien moms: jumping Jupiter and nonchalant Neptunes. Jumping Jupiters are kind of the neat, clean freaks, and nonchalant Neptunes are the ones that have piles everywhere in the house, so they know where everything is. And whether you are jumping Jupiter or nonchalant Neptune or anywhere in between, you have to find a rhythm and let go of some. If you're a nonchalant Neptune, you might need to find your vacuum cleaner. It might be in the box somewhere in a closet, and maybe pull it out and do a little bit more house cleaning, but you need to find a balance. Your house is a home. And your kids don't care if there's crumbs on the floor. They don't care if there's piles on the table.
I was jumping, but I was definitely more the Neptune. And I love it that you say in your book, you know, just accept the fact that your home is not going to be the same for 20 years.
No.
Just let it go.
Let it go.
Just release.
That's the key word, I think, letting go. And I'm wondering, how did your relationship with God change once you became a parent?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that is a very good question. One of the biggest things that changed my relationship with the Lord was going through a miscarriage. And we had 3 children, and we were pregnant with our 4th. And I went for a regular OB checkup, and they couldn't find a heartbeat. And I was about 13 weeks along. And that was devastating. Went through 2 weeks of up and down tests before the final answer came that the baby had died. For 2 weeks I prayed for my miracle, because I wanted that baby. I wanted that miracle. And God helped lead me to a place where I accepted His miracle. And all the moms that are out there that are either suffering a miscarriage or have suffered a miscarriage, just know that God used you as a vessel to bring that soul to heaven. And there's peace in that. There's a sense of peace in that. That gave me an eternal perspective. And I think that helped mature me as a mom to look at all my children, the ones I have here on earth and the ones that I have in heaven, that it just gave me an eternal perspective, that what I'm doing has an eternal impact on their lives. And reflecting my faith to them and how I live and my relationship with Christ is helping them develop their own.
you're living beyond yourself.
You are.
Like what we were talking with the purpose-driven
Yeah, I was
life.
gonna say,
I mean,
yeah.
you're leaving a legacy that will outlive you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that will have that value.
And that was so encouraging, Trish, because all throughout your book you say, you know, these are overwhelming moments and sleepless nights and maybe issues with your husband, but that in it all, God is journeying with you through this. Like when you're at your wit's end, you can kind of go, but I'm not alone. Like in that, there is the creator of the universe, creator of me, of my baby, who is with me through this and sees my tears and pain and the joys. And so that was really encouraging for me. And then I think the sentence that really encouraged me was that you just said, when you're a mom for life. And that it doesn't end, but that you will always be a mom and have that mother's heart towards your children. And so I thought that was just really beautiful.
It is, and it doesn't change. My oldest daughter's at camp this week. She comes home tonight. I'm so excited because she's been gone all week, and she's 12, almost 13. And I miss her as if she were 3 months old. I mean, she's my little girl. So that love is just really a reflection of God's love for us, and it gives us a glimpse, just a tiny glimpse into how much He loves us.
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping that with this birth, the fruit of the Spirit and all of that will just be developed and honed in me to bring me closer to what Jesus is like. And I've heard a very wise man told my husband once that parenting will take all of the selfishness out of you.
It does.
It's all about them, and it will bring you closer
And
to
isn't
the
that
Lord.
like Jesus?
You need Him.
Exactly. It does. It's a big reflection of that.
Well, Trish Berg, thank you. There's so much. Your book, again, is called Rattled, Surviving Your Baby's First Year Without Losing Your Cool. It really is a valuable resource to anyone who's contemplating getting pregnant. If you're right in the middle of your pregnancy, or you're in the middle of that first year of life and you're saying, oh, I need some help here. Is there any help? There is. Where can people get your book?
It's available at bookstores everywhere and online. They can also click right through my website.
All right, thank you, Trish. And you know, as we've been talking about motherhood and trying to reflect back, and especially that first year and just feeling so overwhelmed, I remember many times going into where the baby slept, and at bedtime when I could finally go to bed, and just praying at her crib and saying, oh God, you know how I've blown it today. You know how I wanted to get all of this done today and none of it got done. You know how I was so impatient and snapped at my husband because I haven't had much sleep lately, and please forgive me, please help me. And you know what? That's where real strength is found. That's where I found my strength during that first year of mothering, and then throughout the whole journey as they're in the teen years and beyond. I found a scripture early on in Isaiah chapter 40, verse 11, where it says that God tends his flock like a shepherd. He gathers the lambs in his arms and carries them close to his heart. And then listen to this part. This is the part for us mothers. He gently leads those that have young. He gently leads us. You know, he's not going to come down with a hammer and say, you blew it again. Won't you ever learn? No, he's saying, oh, just come to me. I'll give you the strength you need. I'll give you the wisdom you need. If you'll just come to me every single day, you and I, God says to you, we can do this together.